Yesterday in Bloemfontein, the parents of a 10-year-old girl who was allegedly forced to practice sport too extensively appeared on charges of attempted murder and child neglect. Prosecutors claim the girl was made to swim continuously in a dam near Bloemfontein while her mother and father watched from the sidelines. Now, sport has always played a big part in South African history, but when does it reach the point when it gets out of hand? We are joined by Brad Bing from the Sport Coaching and Development Organisation Sporting Chance from Cape Town. Good morning, Brad. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, hello, Evan.
Brad, we live in a country where sport really is part of our DNA. Can we just start off this conversation by just putting in the picture how important it is for children to be involved in sport in order to live a healthy and balanced lifestyle?
Yeah, but I don't think that our focus should just be on sport. I think it should be on educating our children about leading a healthy and active lifestyle. We all know how important it is for health reasons, and we also know how important it is that children who participate in sport, it's been proven that in actual fact the academic results are a hell of a lot better. We also know that sport unifies a nation. It gives people a lot of hope. And obviously what you're wanting to do is the children that are coming through the system now, you want to give them some kind of progress in life that they can actually go on to become our future heroes on the sporting field. So sport is vital, not only just from a future point of view of creating heroes in South Africa, but also from a lifestyle.
Brad, what do you make of this story where parents are now appearing in court for child neglect and attempted murder after forcing their daughter to swim laps on a farm dam? And do we have these kinds of cases where parents are pushing children on the sporting front in order to become achievers? Do we have an increase in that in South Africa as well?
Yeah, I think there's a fine line, Evan, between being a supportive parent and being an over-pushy parent. I think that's the thing we've got to monitor, or parents have got to monitor. What we've also got to do, though, is we've got to be able to monitor the development of our children. Even sometimes you've got children who are physically stronger than others at a certain age, and obviously those kids that are physically stronger get pushed a lot harder. Those kids that aren't, obviously what you try and do, they try and keep up with their peers, and obviously sometimes they struggle to do that. So that's an important balance we've got to find. And also what we've got to do is, as parents, we've got to be very careful to push our kids too hard, too quickly, too soon, because research has shown us how many children lose interest once they start being able to make their own decisions. And that's where you've got to, as a parent, have got to understand what's good for your kid and what's not good for your kid. And also as a coach, you should be qualified enough to be able to understand what's good for the kid and what's not for the good for the kid.
Now, Brad, you've been involved with children and developing sport and coaching and that sort of thing for a quarter of a century. It sounds like a very long time. But just tell us the importance of the fun element for children and how important it is to keep the fun element in sport.
Fun, Eben, is incredibly important. I mean, it's certainly the reason for all children wanting to be participating in sport. All kids come together because they know that playing sport is a lot of fun. But obviously with that fun comes a lot of hard work, Eben.
Yeah.
So what's important is that, again, that instead of the parents becoming overly anxious, they've got to work out the balance between pushing those kids hard and making sure that those kids have a lot of fun, because otherwise they'll end up trying to live their lives through the children. I just know through the Sporting Chance programs that we've run over the years, Eben, that we've created a three-tier component to our business model. The first one is when you've got the kids at a very early age. What you try and do then at the 4 and 5, 6-year-old group is you have an absolute lot of fun. There is little or no skills taught to these kids. It's just absolutely, you get out there, you play fun, and if I can say it, you trip each other, you bowl a ball, it comes out the back of your hand, you play soccer, you miss the goalpost, etc. When you start getting older, you get into a 7, 8, 9, 10 group, you obviously have a hell of a lot of fun, but the skill level increases dramatically. And from there, when you get to 11 to the age of 14, that's when you've got to start turning around and saying, why are we actually playing this game? I'm playing this game because I want to take my skill to a new level.
Yeah.
But that's when coaching comes into it, because you've got to have people at a young age who can teach you how to have a lot of fun. From there, you've got to have people who can teach you how to have a lot of fun whilst learning the skill.
Yeah.
And then obviously the fun continues and the passion continues. And I've never come across anyone who plays sport who's passionate about what they do, who doesn't want to keep learning. So that's vital. And then from there, you've got to take the kid. You've got to be able to identify those kids that are playing the game for fun and will become recreational cricketers, and those kids will become professional sports people.
Just what would your advice then be to parents who are now have got a 10, 12, 11-year-old child who are looking, and who's got a bit of talent, who are looking to take that step?
Yeah, you know, all parents want their kid to succeed. That's priority number one. We know that. What's important from our point of view is to offer them that advice and turn around and say to them, they've got to be realistic as well. You know, they've got to assess their talent at a young age, and that's when professional people come into it and where they can offer advice. But certainly the advice I give anyone in South Africa and any child that comes through the Sporting Chance system, Evan, is the first thing you do is you complete your secondary education, high school education, and from there what you do is you go and try and get yourself some kind of tertiary education, be it academic or be it a trade. That is vital, because too many times we've witnessed over the last 20-odd years too many kids who have shown huge potential only to get injured in their first year of playing professional sport and have nothing to fall back on. Or those kids who want to continue playing sport, but in actual fact reach a certain level and can't go any higher. Mom believe that they are better than what they are, and unfortunately they bomb out. And you can see throughout South Africa how many sportsmen we know that that have huge potential that never go on to achieve. And we also know that there's only certain sport codes in this country that pay properly. The other sport codes are the Cinderella sports that are actually fighting for the kind of scraps, if we can call it that. So it's vital that the advice I give anyone is get yourself a tertiary education, and that's got to be priority number one on the parents' list. And then secondary is to focus on the kids' potential. However, if you do have something exceptional, believe you me, the coaches will pick them up and they'll be in squads from a young age.
Brad, thank you very much for that contribution this morning. That's Brad being the founder of Sporting Chance, an organization that has looked after the best interest of young sporting children in and around South Africa for the last 24 years.